Hi, I'm Joe, Produce Manager at Mississippi Market on West 7th Street.
And I'm Matt, Produce Manager at Mississippi Market on Selby.
Today we're going to talk a bit about winter squash, different varieties that we have in front of us here, some of their uses, and we're going to do a brief cutting demo at the end.
Right, I'll start off with, this is the acorn squash, very popular squash. Cooks up slightly sweet and a little less dry than your butternut and red curry. The butternut is great for soups. The flesh is a little thinner, so it's easy to cube and puree. The red curry also cooks up nice for soups. It is slightly sweet and a little nutty in flavor. And then we have the delicata, which is a very sweet squash, and some people even prefer to eat the skin.
In front of me, I have here red kabocha squash. Kabocha is a Japanese variety of squash, and typically green or red. Here at Mississippi Market, we like the red variety a lot. This cooks up sweet and dense, dry flesh. It's great for soups, purees. You could also cut it in half and roast it, but lends itself especially well to the prior two preparations. This here is a spaghetti squash. This is a stringier variety of squash, and the flesh is pretty unique in consistency compared to all other squashes in that it is not velvety or smooth, but rather crunchy, and so this is a squash that's very popular as a substitute for pasta. It tastes sauces really well and is a nice side that way. This here is a buttercup, not to be confused with the green kabocha. Sometimes a buttercup will have a cup-like growth on the bottom side. This one here does not, so it looks quite a bit like a kabocha. Rest assured, they're fairly interchangeable. They're both, again, sweeter, drier varieties of squash that lend themselves really well to soups, purees, cubing. This here is a sweet dumpling, which is another popular variety, usage similar to acorn, cut in half and roasted, and it does have a denser, sweeter flesh than acorn squash, so it's a really quite popular, really good flavor. Alright, so now we're going to show you how to cut a butternut squash in half. This is something that some folks find a bit daunting given the size of the object and the fact that it's got a relatively thick skin. And some people, don't have very sharp kitchen knives at home either. So you're going to want to make sure that your kitchen knife is sharp, but rest assured it is fairly simple. So you're going to want to start at the stem end here. And in the case of butternut, as the season carries on, the stem will dry out a bit, and so sometimes you can actually take the blunt part of your knife and just knock it right off. These haven't cured quite as long, so I wouldn't recommend doing it that way, so I would just cut off the top portion, like so. There it goes, and here it goes. And then we're going to start at the center of the squash. What you're going to want to do is place your knife in, make sure it's secure, press downward, and if you have to, you can rock it back and forth a bit if you don't feel confident about just pressing down in one fell swoop. And we're through. So you're going to want to remove your knife carefully, of course. Turn your squash around. Start on the other side. Once again, in the center. Begin by pressing down, always, of course, keeping your fingers out of the way of the blade. And there we go, butternut squash cut in half. And of course, if you don't want to do it at home, we can always do it for you here because we do offer cut squash in our produce departments. And if you are looking for recipes, creative ways of cooking up your squash, you can always look at our 3 days, 3 ways recipes, which are on our website. Thanks much.
Thank you.